Welcome back. Our second music guest is an award-winning musician, producer and audio engineer who has composed for artists such as Amanda Black and Ami Faku. He has also played in the advertising space, composing jingles for companies such as Capitec and Momentum. Given Zulu's love and passion for music started at the tender age of 14 years when he realized that he had the skill to produce and make sounds using his mouth. The award-winning composer taught himself how to play the guitar and soon started incorporating beatboxing into it. He joins us now in studio to tell us more. Given, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning, bro. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you, man. Good to have you on the show this morning. You are a vocalist, you are a rapper and a composer, basically a one-man band. How did it all start for you? And how did you teach yourself the art?
Just to correct that, I'm not a rapper, but am a vocalist, you'd say, artist.
Okay.
For me, it started way back, man. I used to love listening to sounds. I used to mimic stuff at school. I was that naughty child who copies the teacher
Right.
and tries to sound like the teacher. Everyone does any sound in school. So I created this thing of beatboxing and making beats with my mouth. You know, like how kids at school used to play beats on the table?
Oh, yes,
I
yes,
was
yes,
that
yes.
kid
I
when
used to
everyone
do
was
that,
singing
yeah.
and rapping. I was just making beats on the table. So from then, man, it became something else, you know, just became a beatboxer. I started doing shows and battling people for beatboxing.
Yeah.
I was on SA's Got Talent at some point as a kid with Georgia Vakian.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's where it started, man.
I mean, you started at the age of 14. Just take us through the period from then to now. I mean, what went through during that transition?
So, what a journey, man. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, whoa, actually, it's deep. Look, I actually came from a non-musical family in a sense.
Okay.
So how it began for me is I actually stole my sister's guitar. So they actually bought her a guitar for her birthday and she wasn't really interested. She was actually disappointed at the gift that she got. So I grabbed that piece of instrument under the bed. So what I'd do is...
You made good use of it.
Yeah, every time she goes to school, I'd literally grab it under the bed and I'd literally try and play sounds according to what I'm hearing in radio. So that's how I taught myself how to play guitar. But now I was the only boy at home, right? And I was like, actually, I wish I could have like a band feel. So I started beatboxing and playing. Like I go while I was playing guitar, and someone saw that, and it became a thing, bro.
Yeah,
it became a thing.
And I understand that you also have a love and a passion for film scoring, is it?
Yes.
Which is currently playing a huge role into your music. Tell us more about this particular project.
I actually love film more than being an artist or a producer. I love creating scenery. I love creating emotion around picture. Hence, I do sound and audio engineering and stuff like that because I want to create and be creative with sounds and things like that. So I've incorporated, like for example, the song I'm going to do today it's a song I actually built off a scene with Sibaya, where Unomzamo Mbata was breaking up with Stumo, I think, with her Tandega or something. Yes, so I actually found that scene beautiful. So I took that, I'm going to make a song out of the scene. You will hear there's a huge intro, like a breakup scene. You'll think you're watching a movie when you hear that song, bro.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I call it premium African music, because I'm trying to create a sense of how premium African music could be and how far it could go. And we don't have a lot of film scorers in SA or sound designers, and I want to just tap into that industry, you know, just to create this listener's experience, basically.
Premium African music, is that how you define your sound or your genre?
It's a sound I created. It's just taking sounds from Abo Jabu Kanyile and Mbongenenge, Malenga. No one is doing that.
Got you.
Especially at this age as well. So I was like, there's got to be someone who's going to be an anchor and carry the sound, which is me.
Yes.
So I call it premium African music.
And basically coming up with something unique, you know?
Yeah,
carve
very
out
different.
your own niche
100%.
in the industry. And come up with something unique. And apart from that, you also created jingles, I did mention, for some of the corporates that you've worked with.
Yes.
And some of these jingles have been part of SABC program,
yes, 100%. So the advantage of being a beatboxer, I was able to mimic things. So I became a voice-over artist. I'm like, you want to be on the ad? Dial 4926. I started doing things like that because I was a beatboxer on stage performing. Without realizing
you've got stories for days.
That could actually be a career, right? So I started doing voiceovers for companies, radios, a lot of radio stations. I've done so many ads, bro, but people don't know that. You know, Big Save, people don't know that my voice is behind that as well. And I create the voiceover or the jingle itself. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So now, moving forward, let's now focus on your music. Where you headed to? Are you also going to be, putting your hands in different things, or are you going to focus on one thing, which is music and music only?
100%. So, like I said, my biggest dream and passion, to be honest, is film scoring. So I'd love to actually enter a space of being theatrical with my music. So like,
Okay.
Mongeningema do like a Sarafina. I want to be the new age Mongeningema who creates a film out of his music entirely.
Yes,
I want to travel the
yes,
world
yes.
like Lady Smith Black Mambas. I want to join about Jonathan Butler because I compose using guitar and it's very African, you'll hear. Very African. So I want to try create a film out of that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would you say that being an all-rounder is very important in the industry, and can it take you far? Can it take you places?
100%.
Just being an all-rounder.
100%. It's a very hard industry, to be very honest. I'm not going to lie
Yeah,
to you, bro.
true.
Especially if you're trying to build and be somewhere in life. It really helps a lot to just dig into a couple of pockets. You try be a musician, be a producer. People don't know I work here, you know, but I'm still doing music outside of work because I'm just like, rather let your dreams find you at work. You know, let your dreams find you grinding and working, and just try as much as you can, man. If you got the skill and you're still young and you've got the energy, just do it.
Yeah. And the sound that you've created, the unique African sound, how does it translate into your music generally?
It's funny enough, I was actually a hip-hop producer, bro. I was a trap producer. I studied architecture before coming into the music industry because you know how parents are. Go study architecture. I did architecture. I quit school.
Okay.
So in my final exam, I opened for Huma Sigela in Soweto Theatre. So no one knew. So they're like, Given, where are you for the exam? Like, guys, I got an opportunity to open for Huma Sigela. The exam can miss me. So that's how I dropped out of UJ architecture. It's crazy. So I started selling beats because my parents were like, listen, dude, you go do whatever you want, study whatever. I did sound engineering. I had to make a plan. So I was like, let me start making beats. I started selling beats to parents. I was staying in Brom that time. So it wasn't something I enjoyed doing. I just wanted to live. However, I really had a passion for African music. I just didn't know how to do it back then.
Okay.
It's something I really discovered and built during COVID, funny enough.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's during COVID. From hip-hop to African is a huge transition.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great, that's a massive transition.
Yeah,
Right?
so just how it came about. It's a beautiful way to tell a story with African sounds and Zulu and the texture and the style of music. It's just more fuller than having to rap it out and talking about a story.
Yes,
I didn't want to do that.
And you are a one-man show.
100% correct.
All the best, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate
Great
it.
stuff. That was winning composer, musician, producer Given Zulu speaking to us about his musical journey, and we'll be back a little later for a performance.